highly intelligent people don't always look the way you expect. They're not always the loudest or the most obvious person in the room. In fact, their intelligence often shows up in subtle ways, in how they think, how they observe, and how they process the world. It's less about what they know and more about how they think. One of the most common traits is solitude. People with very high intelligence tend to spend a lot of time alone, not because they dislike others, but because solitude gives them space to think, reflect, and process ideas more deeply. They also tend to be naturally curious. They question everything, small things, big things, things most people ignore. Their mind is constantly searching for patterns, connections, and meaning. You might even notice them talking to themselves. This is called self-directed speech, and it actually helps organize thoughts, improve focus, and strengthen memory. Another key trait is being comfortable saying, "I don't know," because the more you understand, the more you realize how much you don't know. This is the opposite of overconfidence. It's intellectual humility. At the same time, their mind doesn't just see one perspective, it explores many at once, which can make even small decisions feel complex. They also tend to have a strong sense of humor. They appreciate layered, clever humor that requires deeper thinking. Another important trait is flexibility. They are willing to change their minds when presented with better evidence. They don't attach their identity to being right. They care more about being accurate. You may also notice that many of them think more at night. When everything is quiet, their mind becomes more active. Ideas connect, thoughts expand. In social situations, they often observe more than they speak. They watch patterns and emotions before deciding how to respond. And underneath all of this, there's usually a constant search for meaning, questions about purpose, and how the world works. Because in the end, intelligence isn't about knowing everything. It's about staying curious, thinking deeply, and being willing to grow.